Oh, hi everyone. It's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Damn. Damn. Oh my god. The Mandalorian has come to an end of the first season. It has been renewed for a second season. So don't panic, people. And I've just finished watching it, literally just a few moments ago. And oh my goodness me. What a finale. Recently, there's a few things that I've been watching. Titans in particular springs to mind because it was a really good show. Did 9 really good episodes. And then the finale came and it couldn't stick the landing. And the finale was I felt really disappointing considering how much quality the season had been. But boom. Jon Favreau, I doffed my cap to Lisa because this stuck the landing, turned around, flipped off the judges, grabbed the girl, gave her a snog. It did everything. It went all the way. Right, let's get into it. Because this is incredible. And where we ended the last episode, Gus Fring had just arrived in his TIE fighter. Blasted away a load of his own troops to, I think, make a point not to lose Baby Yoda, because they thought they had Baby Yoda and they didn't have Baby Yoda. But he seemed to have other things in mind, and the, what's he called? Creel, whatever. That dude tried to get Baby Yoda back to the ship, failed, got kilted. And these two speeder bikers took Baby Yoda. And they're punching Baby Yoda. And it's ooh. But this opening segment, believe it or not, is actually really funny. Between these two bikers. They've got the Baby Yoda. They're waiting to get into town. And they've been told to wait outside because there's a standoff and we discover that it's a Moff, that Gus Fring is a Moff. Not a Grand Moff, like Grand Moff Tarkin from A New Hope, but he's a Moff. And so they're just told to wait outside while this standoff is happening, because they don't want to hurt the Baby Yoda. And the banter between these two is incredible. It's so good, it's so funny. And then they do things like They try and shoot a barrel, and they're technically stormtroopers, you know what I mean? And it's not far away, and they can't hit it for shit. And it's just, it just harkens to, stormtroopers' terrible aim. And they're just there trying to shoot this thing, and they can't hit it at all. And I'm actually laughing. I'm actually laughing out loud here. Then IG-11 turns up and says, "Hello, this is... my protocol is to nurse and protect the Baby Yoda." And they're like, "Well, back off, mate, because we've got him." And so IG-8 kicks the living crap out of them and leaves them for dead, nicks a speeder, and starts to head into town where all the action is. Boom, final episode. So the stormtroopers start to hear this speeder coming. IG-11's bezzing through town, shooting everything. His droid, the reactions and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely annihilating these stormtroopers before they have time to react at all. Gus Fring has spoken to these lot inside and said, "You've got until sundown, and then I'm going to annihilate this whole place." There he is, being a boss. You got these awesome death troopers outside. His TIE fighter looks incredible. Is that that looks like a model, and that just looks immense. The stormtroopers just look amazing. There's a flame trooper that comes in later on. I'm not gonna lie, I got wet. I got wet. So he says you got until nightfall, and I think I've sort of like jumped the gun with the IG-11 bit, and they set up this. This big gun, this turret gun, which I think we last saw in Empire Strikes Back on Hoth. This is its predecessor. So he warns them and then buggers off. And they're just like, hell, what can we do? And there's like, well, there is this exit to the sewers here, but we can't get through the grill. So they're just like, bugger, bollocks. And that's when Pedro Pascal has flashback to when he was a kid. As the Moff is telling them, Gus Fring is telling them who they actually are. And he realizes who the Moff is because of him saying his name. And so we get this proper flashback to exactly what happened to him. We don't know still what happened to the parents, but the parents put him into this, coal shed, whatever. And when the separatist droid is about to kill him, then it gets shot, and yes, we have a Mandalorian who turns up to save them, and the Mandalorian takes the kid into, I say his custody, you know what I mean? He becomes the kid's custodian, and this is where Mando starts his path on the. It is so is the way or whatever. So we get this quick but rather awesome fight between Mandalorians and Separatists, which was really cool. See the Separatist droid here. Do you know, if George Lucas had actually had these as the droids, as the main droids, I mean, these were like the Devastators, whatever they were called, as opposed to those stupid, whatever. But there again, he wanted to make a film for kids, whatever. Moving on. Carl Weathers is awesome. Carl Weathers is just like trying to nick as much booze while and getting himself sauced up. This is where IG-11 comes blasting into town and starts taking everything out. And so they start fighting back as well. But Mando gets critically wounded as he gets hold of this gun, starts mowing down the stormtroopers, but Gus Fring shoots this before Mando can kill him, causing a massive explosion, and boom, Mando gets critically wounded, and they all retreat back inside. Gina Carano says, look, you're bleeding from your head. The only way that I'm going to be able to save you is to take off your helmet. And he's like, you can't take off my helmet. This is, this is the way. You're going to have to leave me to die. And she's just like, I think she quite fancies him. Well, she likes the person. And I tell you what, I wasn't like Gina Carano. I like Gina Carano a lot, but I said on the first episode she was in, her acting wasn't great. I don't know what it was, but in this episode, she felt like a completely different person. She felt as if she'd really eased into a character. And I thought she was great. I thought she was absolutely great in this. She just seemed more relaxed, and that made her kind of, acting, I think, a whole lot better. Carl Weathers is just a boss, of course. So, they, while they're dithering inside, thinking, oh God, Mando's dying, this flame trooper, oh my God. So it's like a stormtrooper outfit, but the red trim, sort of notes. Oof, that's like a wine tasting. Or notes. Notes of Revenge of the Sith from there. But, he blasts down the door and he gets inside and he's about to annihilate everyone. But, Baby Yoda's just like, no, you're not going to crispy fry everybody. I'm going to stop it and turn it back on you. So Baby Yoda stops it and then turns it back on the flame trooper, and the flame trooper gets, boom, annihilated. So Mando tells everyone to bugger off. You go on ahead, look after the Baby Yoda, let me die a warrior's death, yada, yada, yada. And then IG-11 says, I'll stay behind. So he says to IG-11, when everyone's gone, he says to IG-11, do it, kill me. I'd rather you kill me than the Imperials. And IG-11's just like, no, I will remove your helmet and I will save your life. And he's just like, no living person can see me without my helmet. I will shoot you. And then IG-11 is just like, I'm not living. So he removes Pedro Pascal's helmet. It makes sense. IG-11 is a droid, not a human. No human can see him. Nothing living can see him. without his helmet, so it doesn't break the code. We get to see Pedro Pascal. He's all beaten up. It's awesome. It's all set up and pay off. We've had all throughout the season. You know, can't take my helmet off, can't take my helmet off, can't take my helmet off in front of living people. And then in the final episode, a droid takes his helmet off. This is getting me emotional. Do you know, seriously, I'm just going to stop for a second. This episode did get me a little bit emotional. Because this was just like, oh, God, you know, keep your fucking Rey Skywalker and your Poxy Palpatine and the shite that's on the cinema at the moment and your Last Jedi sympathizers who need to take to Twitter to get hashtags going because they're so insecure about how shit the sequels have been. You keep that. You keep that. You suckle at its tit and consume the sour milk which it produces. I'll take this. I'll take this all day, every day, because to me, this is a great take on Star Wars. Simply using the aesthetic of Star Wars to tell simple stories. Stories which we can all relate to, understand. Oh, what? Bueno. So he puts this Resident Evil first aid spray on, and he's just like, you're going to be right as rain in a few hours. So Mando joins them up again, and they're just like, yay, you're alive. And they go into the tunnels of the Mandalorians. But they can't find where they are until they get to this huge pile of Mandalorian armor. And Mando's just like, was this you? To Carl Weathers, and he's just like, no, dude, look, when you left, the fighting died down and everybody just got on with their lives. This is, you know, how we do things. You know that. And he said it was the Imperials. It wasn't long after you went, the Imperials landed, and the Mandalorians fought them, and a lot of them got wiped out. But the Forge Master is still alive. And she's just like, I can't leave this place until I have salvaged everything that I possibly can. And she does a little bit for Mando. She gives him a crest because she says, you're now bonded. Technically, you're like bonded now to Baby Yoda. He's too young to learn the way. And so you're going to have to try and find his race of people. And you're going to have to try and reunite him with his race of people. She uses the word Jedi. Mando is not familiar with Jedi, as he wouldn't necessarily be. Remember, in The New Hope, which was 2 films prior to... because this happens after Return of the Jedi. In The New Hope, one of the commanders on the Death Star... says how Lord Vader is a relic of that forgotten age and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, those stories of Jedi wouldn't advance to this sort of generation. And he's like, oh, so the Jedi are, our enemies, and she's like, this one isn't. This one isn't. So it was really cool. Baby Yoda's just, I love you. And so they're like, again, come with us. And she's just like, nope, I got shit to do here. And so they go. And she says, oh, I've got one more gift for you before you leave. Have a rocket pack. You've been trained. Have a rocket pack. When you've got your strength back, it will start to respond to you. So I was like, yeah, boy. So Mando gets a rocket pack. And then a bunch of stormtroopers arrive at the forge. And she's just kind of sat there. And then she just breaks loose with her forge weapons and kicks the shit out of the stormtroopers in a really cool choreographed fight. It was awesome. So that's the last we see of her. Looks like she lives into season 2. So they get to this lava river. And they get on a boat and a droid's taking it down. And then Mando uses his sensors and he realizes that stormtroopers are flanking either side, and he says, look, there's too many for us to fight through here. So IG-11 says, look, if you relieve me of my duties as a protector, as a nurse and protector of Baby Yoda, I will default to my secondary programming and I will blow myself up and kill them all. And Mando's like, no. And he's just like, don't be sad. And he's like, I'm not sad. He's like, I can tell you're sad by the tones in your voice. And it's a really nice little moment. So he lets IG-11 sacrifice himself to save them all, because they would all get taken, and that would mean the Baby Yoda would get taken. So he goes outside, walks through the lava, goes outside. We've got all these stormtroopers here. Such a cool image. Such a cool image. And then just goes kapow, kapoom, waste them all. Arigato gozaimashita to IG-11 as he exits the show like a hero. So they leave the tunnel, and then Gus Fring is in his TIE fighter, and he's like, am I gonna get you? So he flies by. Carl Weathers says, get the baby to do his hand thing. So he's like, yeah, to Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda just goes, hey, thinking Carl Weathers is just waving to him. Beautiful humour. Great little humour. Not stupid, you know. Whatever. Just nice little subtle humour in a tense time. They start shooting at him, but Mando puts on the rocket pack, attaches himself to the TIE fighter. Really nice special effects here. Pulls himself onto the cockpit area, drops some charges on top, and then detaches, and then the wing gets blasted, and the TIE fighter crashes. It's behind me. Wink. There it is. Crashes over there, but it doesn't explode. And so I'm always saying to myself, I reckon he's going to live. And so they think they've won. And Mando's just like, right, I gotta take Baby Yoda to try and find his race of people. Carl Weathers is just like, when you get back, dude, you can have the pick of whatever you want. The guild will welcome you back with open arms. Baby Yoda's just like, daddy, daddy, carry me, daddy, carry me, daddy. And so he goes back to his ship. He buries Creel. Oh, again, I'm in the way, constantly in the way. Buries Queel, whatever. Gets into his ship, flies off, and then we then get a return back to the planet on the TIE fighter, and there's a bunch of Jawas who are now around the TIE fighter, but, oh my god, somebody's cutting himself out the TIE fighter. It's Gus Fring, and he stands on top of the TIE fighter with this, like, energy sword, vibro sword, not a lightsaber, but there. And it's just, that's kind of lightsaber-ish. It's almost Darth Vader-ish in silhouette. You know, it's got all those sort of hints and whatnot. So it's great that Gus Fring lives, because I think he could be a real nasty villain for the future. And that is the end of the episode. Holy cow, it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I was rooted. I couldn't believe it was like 48 minutes long or something. That's with credits. About 45-ish minutes long without credits. And it went past, boom, like that. I was kind of like, no, please only be halfway through. Damn, it's near the end. What a season finale. Great season finale. It just hit all the right notes. It was so well written. Things were paid off that had been set up because this show has intelligent writing. And I think score-wise, look, I've had 2 10 out of 10 so far, and I think this was the best episode to date. I'm going to do it. This gets an 11 out of 10. Yes, an 11 out of 10. This is unbelievably good TV. It's unbelievably the best use of the Star Wars franchise there has been since 1983 and Return of the Jedi. Mic drop. It is, without doubt. So sad I've got to wait a year until season 2, but so happy that there is going to be a season 2. Can't wait. Quality stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links there in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.